Hello, Dr. Suzy. I would like to present my works. It is the rubber industry and the waste management. Before this, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Tan Xin, and my matrix number is S25307. Okay, first of all, we have to know that the natural rubber, there is two types of natural rubber. That is the trans 1,4 polyisoprene, which also called as the gutta percha, and the other one is the cis 1,4 polyisoprene, and we also can name it as the Hevia brasiliensis. Okay, the gutta percha is the tough plastic substance from the latex, and it's a less pure rubber than the cis-1,4 polyisoprene. And the heavier brasiliensis is the processed plant product that can be isolated from the several hundred species of plants and rubbers in many areas of the world. It means that um, like a lot of country they plant this heavier brasiliensis because they can produce many good products of the rubbers. And in the rubber industry, there's a two classified rubber industry. It is the dry rubber industry, and the latex rubber industry. In the dry rubber industry, that we can produce the tire, fenders, and so on. And the latex rubber industry, that we can produce the glove, foam, condom, and so on. As we know that waste is the unwanted product that has no further use in terms of purpose of productions, transformation, and consumption. And presently, we know that Malaysia is the third largest rubber producer in the world. Okay, the rubber industry may brings huge benefit to the human. Yeah, we know, as they are explored to manufacture more important good products. That's just like what I mentioned. Waste management in natural rubber processing should be handled properly, and we have to practice it and to our next generation to the next. This may can reduce or decrease the risk of the pollution.
Okay, let us talk about the objective of the rubber industry and its management. First is to identify the problems of waste raised by the company's day-to-day activities. Because every day the rubber industry have to progress, have to process the rubber, and at the same time they also have to discharge and influence the waste. So it is routine, is the everyday activities. So they have to manage it and practice the waste management for every day. And the second, to focus the proper way of various technology waste management for rubber industry. Actually, the technology should be go one by one. It should not be skip, or it should have their own correct way technology, so it can produce the high quality of compost. The thirdly is to concern the essential of waste management and reformulate to another good product. It means that we have to focus the waste management to focus the waste management and reformulate so that it can be products for another good products in such as the compost. And next is to aware the seriousness of environment issues caused by rubber processing factory. So we have to be concerned about the issues that environment and caused by the rubber factory. Not only rubber factory, it also can palm oil in such as the compost. And next is to aware the seriousness of environment issues caused by rubber processing factory. So we have to be concerned about the issues that environment and caused by the rubber factory. Not only rubber factory, it also can palm oil, it also can another factory. So at this situation, in this point, the waste management should be is a good play a important roles lah. So it means that we have to practice it. We have to abide the waste management in any the factor the influence of the factories. That's all. Thank you.
For the first part, it is the natural rubber process in industry. So the natural rubber can be processed into a few things. The main ingredient is latex. So the latex that we collect from the trees can be used to create, can be used to create rubbers. So the rubbers is the milky white solution that can be used to create another thing such as tire, many things. Okay. So the first thing is latex can be processed into rubber sheet. So the rubber sheet is they are divided into two parts. There is air dried sheet and rib smoke sheet. So the air dried sheet, it is very simple process. Just add water to the rubber and leave it to dry for a few weeks. And for the rib smoke sheet, it is a little bit polluting because we use a smokehouse to smoke the sheet. So the rubber sheet will be smoked in a smokehouse. That the smokehouse will produce CO2 smoke, right? So CO2, the CO2 will is one of the global warming, the causes of global warming, greenhouse gases. So it will cause global warming. So the next, latex can be processed into crumb rubber. This type of process is faster than the other because we use a chemical. We put a chemical into the latex and there will be a crumb rubber. But sometimes if this is not handled carefully, it will cause water pollution in the area because the chemical use, if we not use it carefully. But actually this way we can use to clean our environment because the crumb rubber is actually a recycled rubber from the used tires or anything rubber that have been used before. We can take it and we add chemical into it and then it will become a crumb rubber. So the next is, the third one is latex concentrate. This latex concentrate, we need to centrifuge the latex. So it will be divided into parts. The concentrate will be taken out and will be refrigerated, so we can store it. And the latex that left inside the centrifuge bowl, we will add ammonia and it will lead to coagulate, so we can store it. So both part of it we can store. Okay, then the last one is latex can be processed into crepe rubber. Crepe rubber, firstly, the latex will be added with ammonia to prevent coagulation. So we can move the latex more easier because if it already coagulate, it will be heavier and a larger volume. So that's all for the natural rubber process industry.
This is my part, is the waste in the dry rubber industry. As I found out that three types of waste in the dry rubber industry. First of all is the chemical product. As we know that the chemical product is produced for the tire, and this chemical product will cause the environmental problems such as the air pollution, water pollution. As to solve this problem, we use the product to make the reusable the tire. From this, the human can use this tire to use against this tire to go their car. Next is my point is the rejected product. As we know, some of the product industry will produce the rejected product, such as the unwanted waste. This rejected product will use in our country, such as, for example, we can know that this registered product will use in the factory to produce the useful thing, such as the growth we use in the building, and then one thing is the rubber thing we can use in the eraser. Last of my point is the oil, the grease and lubricant oil produced in the factory. As we know, some of the factory rubber industry will produce the oil, the unwanted oil. As I go through the research, I know that the oil will produce for the factory will give harm effect to our environment, such as our aquatic and to the animal. So to solve this problem, I think that this oil can be used in the factory, such as lubricant oil. This is because we can use in our sewing machine, the oil unwanted oil we produce, then we use in the machine. This can make our environment more conserved. That is all for me.
So next, I will continue with the solution or the controlling agent in rubber waste industry. Firstly, although tires are usually burned, not recycled, efforts are continuing to find the value of tires. Tires can be recycled to many things, such as used in garden beds as bulk mulch to hold in water and prevent weeds. Tires also can recycle into a new tire, so we can use the new tires again. Pyrolysis process can be used to reprocess tires into gas, oil, which produce activated carbon and high-grade carbon black. Old tires also can be used as an alternative fuel in the manufacturing of cement. Tires often recycled for use on basketball courts. Rubber waste can be reformulated again into a quality object, such as sandals, by connecting together the cut sides wall to form a flexible net. So people can use the recycled sandal with a cheaper price. Okay. Ground and crumb rubber, also known as size-reduced rubber, can be used in both paving tire project and in moldable project. The example of rubber molded projects are carpet padding or underlaying of the carpet, flooring materials, railroad crossing blocks, and livestock mats. The rubber can be molded with plastics for products like pallets and railroad ties. So that's all for the solution and the controlling agent in waste rubber industry.
Hello, my name is Audrey, S25340. Now I'm going to present about the effect that caused by the rubber industry. Firstly, the environment issue, which, as we know, it will pollute the water, especially the river, the stream. The coagulation, serum fill latex coagulation, skim latex coagulation are cause of the pollution if it's not treated well, and it goes to the waterways, go to the river. And other like sulfuric acid, which is used in process of coagulation of skim latex, is also will pollute the river also. Other than that, ammonia and also nitrogen are being exposed to the aquatic organism also. As for ammonia, if it's once enter the aquatic organism body, it will hardly extract the substance out from the body itself. And when it cannot extract the toxic, it will soon build up in internal tissue, and that could lead the fishes to death. And as for nitrogen, it can cause overstimulation if it reaches certain level of nitrogen. Like it stimulates the growth of plants, the algae, plant aquatic, and also the algae. And if this algae is overstimulate, it can cause the sunlight cannot reach into the river deeper inside. And as for human beings, especially focus on the workers who work in the rubber industry, it can cause dermatitis, irritation, and also cirrhosis, which is the dry skin. Other than that, the workers will also suffer from natural rubber latex, which is NRL allergy. People who have this allergy will have inflammation of nasal mucosa, asthma, and more. So that is all from me. Thank you.
Then I will go to my conclusion that is the waste management is very important in our countries. For example, we can use the waste to make our compost. This because if we not solve the waste, they will give harm effect to our environment. So thank you. That's all for me.